Salutations, Hunter. I suppose I could banish Venom to one of the lesser voids, but somehow it feels wrong, knowing that Lilith is the one truly responsible for his recent outbursts. Considering the risk he put himself in to assist us earlier, I'm more than willing to volunteer for any efforts to help Spider-Man deal with the ongoing Venom situation. I've always found Spider-Man to be in good spirits, even in the worst of situations. Even now, fleeing from a rampaging demonic beast, I'm sure he's still as affable as ever. Considering the risk he put himself in to assist us earlier, I'm more than willing to volunteer for any efforts to help Spider-Man deal with the ongoing Venom situation.
I've got a kid I send on missions sometimes. Not big stuff, you know. I send him when a gesture from the Avengers is more effective than a full assembly. He's like the meeting that could have been an email. I'll have Happy send Wait, hang on. Can't remember which superheroes have secret identities or not, and this one definitely does. I will have Happy message the, Webby kid. I wouldn't mind jumping into this one. I probably owe the city a few favors, after all the experiments gone awry and whatnot. How long has Spider-Man been out there running around? That kid has stamina, I'll give him that. Looks like our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is getting some good media coverage these days. That should up his stock around New York a bit. I wouldn't mind jumping into this one. I probably owe the city a few favors, after all the experiments gone awry and whatnot.
Are you always that stabby? I don't frequently watch the television. It was never part of my childhood. I do not feel a particular affection for it. This Spider-Man sounds like a strange thing, swinging from the rooftops with some sort of spider fluid. Disgusting. There is more concern for Spider-Man than there is for Wanda. We don't even know him. This Spider-Man sounds like a strange thing, swinging from the rooftops with some sort of spider fluid. Disgusting.
I've never run into him, but I've heard Spider-Man is a pretty nice guy. Does a lot for the city. I'm all for helping out if we can. I know Venom isn't human, but this guy Eddie is, right? As long as one of them can answer for what they've done, the writer will make it happen. I guess it's hard to avoid ending up on the news when you're swinging around in a place like New York. Somehow the writer always manages to be a little more discreet. I know Venom isn't human, but this guy Eddie is, right? As long as one of them can answer for what they've done, the writer will make it happen.
The Suns have always tried to avoid public scrutiny, but things are gonna be different now that we're working with so many big names in the hero industry. Supervillains rampaging through a major metropolitan area is just like everyday news here in the 21st century. You'll get used to it eventually. What's the deal with Spider-Man and Venom anyway? Did they used to date or something? Might be time for a restraining order. The Suns have always tried to avoid public scrutiny, but things are gonna be...
Well done driving off that monstrosity Venom before he took an even bigger chunk out of our dear friend Spider-Man. Thankfully, Dr. Strange is tending to him in the barracks. At some point, you should check up on him. Make our new guest feel welcome. It's all coming together. Our little family is getting stronger every day. Big, nasty creatures like Venom always have some hidden weakness. We just had to push him a little bit to find it. Whether the solution is magical or otherwise, I'm sure one of our resident experts can help us plot our next move. We need to help Spider-Man get adjusted if he's going to stay with us at the Abbey. He's not the type to complain, so I'll have to keep an eye on him. At the very least, things went slightly better than our last encounter with Venom. Everyone should get some rest before our next outing. I'm sure it won't be long before we're back at it.
Whatever the good Dr. Faustus was up to spells bad news for us. That was impressive. I think Venom might actually be shook. Stark can probably point us in the right direction when it comes to tracking Venom, but we should figure out what we want to do with him first. It's hard to plan a tactical operation when we hardly ever know where the fight is going to happen. Maybe we can do something about that this time. Hydra's up to something far bigger than a symbiote. This reeks of a distraction to throw us off their scent. If we were to capture Venom, has anyone considered what we're going to do with him after that? Using the PA system out there was a nice touch. I'm starting to see why Spider-Man is so popular around New York. I'd check in with Caretaker if I were you. As strong as you are, she still tends to worry about her little family. That was impressive. I think Venom might actually be shook. Stark can probably point us in the right direction when it comes to tracking Venom, but we should figure out what we want to do with him first. It's hard to plan a tactical operation when we hardly ever know where the fight is going to happen. Maybe we can do something about that this time.
Great work, Hunter. I bet Lilith was hoping you'd sit this one out. Sucks for her. Aw, Big Bad Venom is scared of a little fire? I could probably help you guys out with that. Just let me know. I almost feel sorry for Venom, or Eddie, depending on how you look at it. I mean, it's not like he asked to serve Lilith. The same thing could have happened to any of us. I think we did all right. Probably saved a few lives. Can't ask for much more than that, right? You should probably take a break. Won't be long before the next mission comes up.
From Venom, huh? Let's hope Steven can work some medical magic. Doesn't sit right when homegrown heroes get hurt like that. Several artworks of which are tax havens for Stark Enterprises. In a way, you and Spider-Man protected the funding that builds all the cool tech I whip up for the Avengers. And now, maybe the Midnight-Suns. Now, if only we could get rid of Hydra so I can move out of this castle of terror and back to my humble, cozy penthouse with a view of the Manhattan skyline. What did I tell you? A few modern upgrades and you're already turning the tables on them. Knowing what we do, I'm sure we can find a technological solution to Venom. We just have to find a plan everyone agrees on. Looks like the new gear held up perfectly. Not that I was expecting any less. See, no one ever wants to talk about flamethrowers, but just think how much time you would have saved if you had one. I'd say that was a productive outing. Now we just have to apply what we've learned and do a little problem solving. I like the part when Venom was throwing Hydra guys off the roof. Seriously, you can't make this stuff up. Did you hear that? No? Huh. Thought I heard Caretaker reminding me again about upgrades for her shovel. What did I tell you? A few modern upgrades and you're already turning the tables on them.
Congratulations on your success in New York. I see you brought a fresh recruit, and an eager one at that. I see now that Spider-Man is more man than spider. Not at all what I pictured. This game of cat and mouse with Venom. I wonder if this is really the best approach. It was suggested that I could banish our problems to Limbo, but this is a slippery slope. Limbo is not a dumping ground for Earth's undesirables.
Congratulations on your
Caretaker has pretty high standards, so I kind of expected this would be easy for you. I feel like Spider-Man could have mentioned the whole sound wave thing a little earlier. I mean, who forgets their nemesis's greatest weakness? As long as we've got the blood, my spell can be anything. Venom shattering sound would probably do it. So we're just recruiting right off the street now, huh? I mean, I know he's famous and everything, but still. Caretaker will probably want a full report, even though she already knows exactly what happened out there.
Come to see how the patient is faring? I assure you, Hunter, his injuries are minor given the circumstances, and he's convalescing quite nicely due to my expert medical care. I know you'd like to see him, but my strict doctor's orders are that he's not to be disturbed. I'm sure he would appreciate a visit tomorrow, though, after a good night's rest.